All around the world, there are places where repulsion and curiosity blend together, sights that most people would avoid, but others visit out of morbid fascination, each one more revolting and eerie than the last. These are 3 of the most grotesque places on the planet. Number 3. The Gum Wall, Seattle, United States. In a small alley called Post Alley near Pike Place Market, visitors began leaving their mark in a rather peculiar way by sticking their used chewing gum on the wall while waiting to enter the local theater. What started as a simple joke in the early 1990s eventually became a tradition. Today, the gum wall is completely covered with layers of chewed gum in every imaginable color: bright pinks, sickly greens, hardened browns. Between them are wrappers, scribbled messages, and even candy remnants trapped in that living surface. The air smells like a mix of fermented sugar and urban humidity. In summer, the gum melts and drips slowly, forming sticky puddles that mix with dust and footprints. In 2015, the city tried to clean it completely, removing more than a ton of gum, but within weeks, it was covered again. People didn't want to see it clean. They wanted to see it as it was meant to be, a bacteriological work of art, a wall that proves how contagious shared disgust can be. Some scientists have even studied it as a biological phenomenon, the perfect environment for bacteria to survive and mutate thanks to constant humidity and human contact. Ironically, what began as an act of boredom evolved into a living organism of urban filth, one that continues to grow, fed by human hands eager to leave their microscopic legacy behind. Number 2. The Island of the Dolls, Xochimilco, Mexico. In the canal south of Mexico City lies an island where silence is broken only by the sound of water and wind whispering through the trees. Decades ago, the caretaker Don Julian Santana found the body of a drowned girl. From that day on, he began hanging old dolls from the trees to ward off, or perhaps accompany, her spirit. Over the years, the place transformed into a nightmare open to the public. Hundreds of dolls hanging from rotting branches and mold-covered fences, some eyeless, others missing limbs, all of them crawling with insects and moisture. The melted plastic mixes with the stench of the swamp, and at night, the shadows seem to move on their own. Visitors claim to have heard whispers, childish laughter, or the sound of strings tightening without any wind. There's no electricity, only a dense silence and the reflection of twisted heads swaying above the water. Today it stands as a mix between a macabre museum and an improvised altar where time slowly corrodes every face, as if the dolls were alive only to keep rotting. After Don Julian's mysterious death, found floating in the same canal where the girl had drowned, the legend grew even darker. Locals believe his spirit now wanders among the dolls he once hung, maintaining their eerie watch. To this day, visitors leave offerings, convinced that the toys move subtly when no one's looking, as if the island itself still breathes through their hollow eyes. Number 1. The Catacombs of Paris, France. Beneath the elegant streets of Paris lies another world. In the 18th century, cemeteries had become so overcrowded that bodies were beginning to rise to the surface. To prevent a sanitary crisis, authorities decided to move the remains of more than 6 million people into the city's ancient underground quarries. What was meant as a practical solution turned into a monument to death. The bones were arranged with chilling precision, walls of skulls and femurs forming geometric patterns, corridors that seem endless, columns decorated with craniums. The perpetual dampness fills the air with a mineral, metallic, and ancient smell. Visitors describe the feeling of being watched, even when they're completely alone. The silence is broken only by the slow dripping of water seeping from the surface. Some areas remain closed to the public, but urban explorers have recorded hidden symbols, improvised rituals, and objects that no one can explain who left behind. The catacombs are more than just an underground cemetery. They're a mirror of humanity, a reminder that beneath every living city lies its own graveyard, a gallery made of bones where art and horror blend together, and where time itself, quite literally, smells like death. But the horror doesn't end with history. Countless explorers have gone missing within the labyrinth. Footage recovered from a camera in the 1990s showed a man wandering deeper and deeper until he vanished, his terrified breathing echoing before the tape ended. Some believe he got lost. Others say something else found him. Down there, surrounded by millions of silent witnesses, the line between the living and the dead becomes impossible to see.
This is just the beginning. The Forsaken is a new channel, and your presence gives life to the cult. Join us for more disturbing stories every week. Until then, rest. We'll meet again in another tale.